Were you ever in a musical?
Yes, I was. The night that I won the Academy Award, I happened to go to the gentleman's room, and I heard a couple of fellas talking. And I had my back to them. And they were saying, all right, so he was a good bad guy, wonderful bad guy. And all right, so he won the award for playing a good guy. But what else can he do? And I realized they were talking about me. Well, I made sure that no more, I wouldn't do any more of a thing like Marty. And I actually asked my directors from then on, if you ever see any kind of a thing like Marty come out in me, please stop me. Because I said, you know, I'd done the part and I didn't want to do it anymore. I just... Anyway, they said, okay, fine. Believe it or not, my next picture was a musical. And I played, we played the lives of De Silva, Brown, and Henderson. It was Gordon McRae, Dan Daly, and myself. And I played Henderson. No, was it? No, Brown. And I believe he was the lyricist. Anyway, it was a marvelous thing. I sang, danced, carried on like a fool, played the banjo, had a great time, really. And you tell people that, you know, and they say, you were in a musical? Oh. And I had a marvelous time, really.
It's like Clint Eastwood.
And Paint Your Wagon?
Yeah, and Lee Marvin, wasn't he?
I think Lee Marvin was jealous. That's why he made the Paint Your Wagon.
What about Brando sang in Guys and Dolls?
Listen, if I'd been paid the kind of money that he got paid for, I'd have done it that way too.
Did you ever work with him?
Marlon?
Yeah.
No. Although he's a neighbor of mine in California. Nice man. But you know something, that the thing that ruined Marlon Brando is the press. The press was always on him. And I don't say ruined him, but you know, the press can do odd things to a person, really. You can withdraw into thyself, you know, and it's just terrible. And I remember I've been involved in a couple of things that, a couple of divorces, and right away they're at your door, you know, knocking on your door, and they'll put a foot in, and they put a microphone under your nose, and before you say, ah, they've already made a story out of it, you know? And it's not fair, really, because you're not really given your just dues as far as your personal life is concerned. I love it. I love being out in public. I love answering questions for anything and everybody that wants to know anything. But when I close my gate and my door, that's it. I want to be left alone, you know? That's only fair.
Did you know James Dean at all?
No, I never met him. No. But he was one of the fellas that I beat out when I did Marty in Academy Award. I thought sure that Jimmy Dean would get it. He or Spencer Tracy. Yeah.
Well, can you take us back to that night you won the Academy Award? What was that like when you...
Shari Lewis had bet me $1.98 that I'd win. I went home and I collected all the pennies I could find. I put them in my little Nancy's red sock. And I said, just in case, you know, but I had no idea I was ever going to win. And so we went, took pictures with Clark Gable, had a wonderful time. And When they got to the Best Actor Award, they called my name. And it's like I didn't hear it, you know. I said, my goodness. They said Ernest Borgnine, but, and it just didn't make any sense to me. And my wife said, get up, they called your name, go on up there. Well, sir, I'll tell you, I never expected anything like that in my entire life. But it was one thrilling night to be handed the Best Actor Award by Princess Grace. She wasn't a princess then, but Grace Kelly, and she was a sweet, sweet lady. And as I went up, Shari Lewis said, you see, I told you. And I had my pennies in my hand. I handed the sock to him, and I said, here, you won. And later he said, spent the sock, saved the pennies.
Are you still, do you see Shari Lewis now? He's working, he's on Broadway.
He's working on Broadway, yeah. And now I understand he's taking it out on the road. I'm not sure.
That's what I saw. I saw that. Do you have any favorite memories of, memories of the Rat Pack, and or Shari Lewis? And
no, I wasn't associated with that group at all. You know, it's a very funny thing. You know, in retrospect, when I look back, I was never in with any cliques or anybody that hung out together. Or I was always a loner. It seemed funny, you know. I don't know why, but
well, I think you're more comfortable. It's like this. You're more comfortable doing your own thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Now look at those cars up ahead. They just dove right in front of that truck, and he had to put on his brakes. What a shame.
You worked with Rock Hudson. You were at Ice Station Zebra.
I worked with who?
Rock Hudson.
Oh, Rock Hudson, yeah.
And
nice fella. Really a wonderful guy.
And Ice Station Zebra was one of those great Alistair MacLean novels.
Yeah. You know, that's the one that nearly broke MGM, because they had to spend so much money on doing miniature work and all kinds of things. But the picture itself turned out brilliantly, I thought. John Sturgis did a wonderful job.
Yeah, it was. It looked chilly. It looked cold. It looked like you were really in the Arctic.
You know what we were doing? I was making two pictures at the same time when I did that picture, Ice Station Zebra. I was making one with Kim Novak and Peter Finch in the afternoon, and doing the Ice Station Zebra in the morning. And we'd get out there in the lot, hot summertime, and we had all this fur around us, you know. And sure enough, there we were plodding through the snow and everything else. And I tell you, man, it was a rough cob. Then I'd go back to playing a Russian spy in the afternoon. That was crazy.
Were you ever offered any parts in a James Bond film?
No. My good looks would compete, you know, and I didn't want to compete with them. No sense in competing with another fellow who thinks he's good looking, you know?
Well, it's just Bond was. I guess there's. Was Sean Connery? Did you ever have any dealings with Sean?
Yes, we've. Matter of fact, we're going to make a right turn. We've been friends for a long time. I met him and we became quite friendly.
I met his son, Jason Connery. He played Robin Hood.
Yeah, yeah.
I know Sean Connery likes to golf.
Oh, he's a fanatic about golf. I don't know about now, whether he's still a fanatic, but I know he loves it. I used to be a pretty good golfer myself, no scratch golfer, but I traveled pretty much around the world going to different matches, and I was in the first $1 million tournament that they had over in Africa, in Botswana, Africa. Botswana, whatever it is. And that was the year that who's the fellow that does it on NBC or CBS? NBC, I believe. Johnny. Boy, I'll tell you.
Johnny Carson? No,
Carson.
No, what was it?
Sports announcer, right?
Oh.
Who?
Now. Sports announcer?
Yeah.
Not Vin.
No, the one who plays golf so well.
Oh, Johnny Miller.
Johnny Miller. Johnny Miller. And Johnny Miller won the $1 million prize that year. He beat Seve Ballesteros in a playoff. They played 9 extra holes, and he took them. Boy, he was marvelous to watch. And Lee Trevino and I were on the side watching him, and got a little bit inebriated and we were yelling like crazy. Come on, Johnny Miller! He said, I could hear you 9 holes away.
It's not Dave Harris.